How you doing, everyone? Scott back again, and my camera is squint. There we go. So this is going to be my initial reaction on the new Iron Maiden album, Senjutsu, which was released today. So here we go. This is obviously the CD version. Comes in this kind of thick digipack, double disc, and here's the back as well, which I actually prefer. I actually prefer the back cover to the front. So yeah, first impressions. I'm going to talk about the cover first. I am not a fan of that cover. It's too dark. It's too Book of Souls. Another Eddie on a black background. I think they've got it in them to do something pretty unique. This seems a bit kind of cut and paste kind of stuff, but at the same time, that is a much better cover, in my opinion. So, I was actually really impatient. I was straight onto YouTube when it was released onto YouTube, the full album. I couldn't wait for my CD to arrive. So I have had one listen on YouTube and one listen of the CD. It was a flip of a coin for me. It's obviously one of the most highly anticipated albums of the year. Rightly so. I mean, Iron Maiden are complete and utter metal legends, but as you know, over the last 20 years, maybe even longer than that, they've been a hit or a miss. There are some albums within the last 20 years that I've loved and some that I've detested. So for this to be highly anticipated for me was a bit of a stretch. It was just, I didn't really know. I mean, it just goes to show I bought the CD and not the vinyl. Now, I'm obviously a vinyl collector, but off the strength of the two singles that were released, I wasn't buying the vinyl for 35 quid. Or I think the limited edition marbled vinyl was 60 quid, which was in itself fucking ridiculous. But so I just went for the CD version. Plus, I didn't really enjoy Book of Souls. I kind of enjoyed it to begin with. I thought it's a new Iron Maiden album. I liked some of the songs, and I think with some of these albums, especially with Iron Maiden, people feel the need to force themselves to like it. When, I mean, if you're a real, because Iron Maiden have such a massive following and such a loyal following, I think a lot of people kid themselves when it comes to Iron Maiden. Some say, like, some talk about some of their worst albums, just say, oh, it's not their best, but these songs are really good and this song is really good. And like, it's just, they can't bring themselves to say it's not good, it's fucking shit. So I'm kind of going at it like a kind of neutral. I didn't want to really hear other people's opinions. I just wanted to kind of take it for what it was. Like off the back of listening to it myself. And it's a plodder. That's like the main word that would come to mind. It plods along. It doesn't really pick up much pace. It doesn't carry any momentum with it at all. Every song just seems to have this long-winded, meandering intro where they could maybe cut 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes off a song and just get straight into the meat of the actual song. That's my kind of like first impressions of pretty much every song throughout the album. I just think, right, we've got to fucking sit through this 3 minute, you know, that kind of slow meandering, and then all of a sudden it kind of kicks into the song and it picks up a bit of pace. Never really any pace to really talk about through the album, just that kind of mid-paced plod that's kind of going on just straight from the start. So it kicks off the album with the song Senjutsu, which I actually really like. although it doesn't come across as a great intro song, I still quite like it as a song. It's quite heavy. I like the verses in it, so um, that's a pretty good song. And then it goes straight into, I'm just getting the booklet out. And it goes straight into the single Stratego, I think it'll be. And then straight into the Writing on the Wall as well. So two songs that I would say were okay. I wasn't blown away by any of them. Out the two, I thought Stratego was probably the better one out of the two. Writing on the Wall was okay. It kind of grew on me after a good few listens, but again, it's okay. It's nothing. It's not going to blow your mind. Then it kind of gets into the Lost in a Lost World, Days of Future Past, The Time Machine, which I think are, again, okay songs, but they're not any songs that you go, oh, put that one on again. That's an absolute banger. It's just these, again, meandering, ploddy, mid-paced songs that really do have good melodies. The one thing I would say is the guitars are pretty awesome. The soloing is on point. And sometimes I think with Maiden solos they can get a bit, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't find the word I'm looking for. But anyway, the solos are pretty spot on. Bruce Dickinson, I think, throughout the album does sound a bit haggard. Which, yes, you could sit there and go, yeah, he's in his 60s, he's going to sound older. Yeah, he does sound older and he does sound worse. So there you go, that's just the fact of the matter. Darkest Hour, then the second disc goes on to Darkest Hour, Death of the Celts, which I heard before even listening to the album. I heard that was one of the best songs on it. I don't know where that came from because I thought it was okay. Again, it's just this kind of ploddy, mid-paced song. I think the highlight of the album is the last song, Hell on Earth. That's the one song that really pricked my ears up. I just thought, you know, when you're like halfway through, 3/4 of the way through, I thought that is a great song. But that's the only song out of the whole album that I thought that. So yeah, it's kind of what I was expecting. I wasn't expecting Seventh Son, and I wasn't expecting The Final Frontier. I thought it would be somewhere pretty much in the middle, which is really what the album is. It's a middle of the road album. I think for people like me, who I'm not like a complete Iron Maiden loyalist, you've got to think to yourself now, Iron Maiden are just a different band. They're not going to be that band you want them to be. And I think that's what you've kind of got to get used to. They're not going to be Number of the Beast. They're not going to be Somewhere in Time, Power Slave. They're just on a completely different journey now. And you've kind of just got to take them for what it is. The way I put it, or the way I thought to myself about it was, if that wasn't Iron Maiden, that was a completely new band that you'd never heard of before, and you listen to that album, you would think it was okay. That's the way I see it. You've kind of got to look at it from like a neutral's point of view, maybe somebody who's never heard of Maiden before, or, you know, don't let the name Iron Maiden cloud your judgment. So that's kind of how I went into this. And like I said, if that was a completely unknown band that put that out, nobody would say a word about it. Nobody would be ranting about it. Nobody would be raving about it. They wouldn't be going, oh, you've got to listen to this, it's amazing. Because that's just not the album. For me anyway, that's not what that album is. It's good. It does have some tracks that I'm sure will grow on me. Like I said, Hell on Earth is probably, I think, the best song on it. I do like the kind of middle section as well, and I think those songs will grow on me, but as a whole, it's better than Book of Souls. Like I said, it's not down at the bottom, it's not up at the top, it's probably somewhere in the middle in the discography for me, if I was to do it like another ranking. There's some great parts you can pick out, and there's some really dull parts you can pick out, so I suppose that's kind of what you expect from Maiden nowadays. But if I was to give it right now a score out of 10, I'd probably give it a 7. I'd probably give it a 7 out of 10. But of course, I'll go back to it. I'll give it more listens. There are some songs I do want to kind of put on again and you know, see if they'll grow on me, because some people mention songs that they love that just kind of haven't had the same effect on me, so I'll kind of go back into them. But yeah, as a whole, 7 out of 10. But in the meantime, let me know what you think. I'm sure a lot of you will have stuff to say about this new album, and you can let me know in the comments. Until the next time, I will see you.